Our next contestant is Prateek Jain. Prateek Jain, 46664. 46664. Prateek Jain.
Last night I walked into my room and the light was on, the microwave was on, the hot plate was on, the sink light was on, the bathroom lights were on, the dressing table light was on, the Xbox was on, and the television was on. I looked at my roommate and I said, "Hey Dennis, when you're done using something, try to turn it off. Especially the kitchen appliances." He said, "Why?" And I said, "Because it costs us. And it's a fire hazard." And he said, "What, $1?" I said, "No, it costs us a lot more than that." He said, "Man, I paid my college tuition, I paid housing, housing takes care of electricity, it's all good." I said, "It costs us in energy, and it costs all of us, not just you and me." And he said, "Look, I'm a pilot, I go out on my flights, I burn gas. There's nothing that I can do that'll use more energy than my flying out there, and that's my profession. So honestly, bro, I really don't care. I can't make a difference." And I looked at him, I had no words. I said, "Cool." And I went back to my laptop, which was also on. And then I started thinking about it. I said, can one man really make a difference? Are there any instances in history where a man has made a difference to the world? And I started learning about this one young gentleman, this young guy, born in this amazing occurrence in the First World War, on the 18th of July, 1918, in a small village in Africa, to the chief of the village. He grew up, played around, got transferred villages, but because he was rich, he had access to education. And this young black boy grew up with some energy, with some vigor in his life, with education. And empowered, he went to the Hare State University, where he got kicked out because he was participating in a college protest. He was protesting a very simple thing. All around Africa, South Africa at that point in time, bathrooms said, "For European women only." Playgrounds said, "For white children only." Buses said, "For white people only." And the government called it a policy of good neighborliness. The African word for it was apartheid. And then, as a lawyer who founded the first black law firm in South Africa, over the next 2 decades, he developed a taste for justice. He developed a taste for fighting for his rights. And in 1960, he was tried, because the government found enough evidence, for illegally leaving the country. And in that trial, he went up to the court, and he made one simple comment. He said, "I was not born hungering for freedom. I was born free. I was born free to ride the horses as slow as they walked, free to lay in my mother's lap, free to say what I want and do what I won't wear." And as I grew young, as I grew into an adult, I understood that my freedom had already been taken away from me. That this freedom that I thought of as a boy was an illusion. It was then that I started hungering for freedom. They sent him away to prison for 5 years, but within 2 years they found documents linking him to a sabotage attempt, blowing up one of the electricity grids, and they called him back into trial, 1962. Put the documents in front of his face, and this time he made another simple comment to the people with grim faces judging him in front, and the crowds rioting and screaming and raging fire outside. And he said this: "During my lifetime, I have dedicated myself to the struggle of the African people. I have fought against white domination. I have fought against black domination. I have cherished the ideal of a democratic society, free society, in which all persons live together in harmony with equal opportunities. It is an ideal I wish to live for and achieve, but if need be, it is an ideal for which I am prepared to die. At age 44, he was sent away to prison for life. And after repeated attempts at the government saying, you will be released if you refuse to ever engage in politics again, prisoner number 4664 stayed in prison for 27 years. This morning I said to May, my friend, Nelson Mandela was in prison for 27 years. And she said, did he go crazy? And an interviewer asked him the exact same question after he went out of prison. They asked him, didn't you go crazy? He said, when the frustrations of the prison were driving me crazy, I looked at the cruelty outside and I thought of these earnest words from William Ernest Henley. It said, out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. The people of Africa elected him as the first black South African president in the 300 years of that nation's existence at the age of 71. He then fought another battle, the domination of black people, to create a nation, South Africa, that is now truly culturally united. I thought about this for a little while, and I realized the answer to Dennis's question. One man can make a difference. And if Dennis decides to turn off his lights, and I decide to turn off my laptop, and in a day we can save $1, and 5,000 students exist in this college, 300 days of the year we're in school, $150,000 a year, 10 years, $1.5 million, 100 years, $15 million, because we turned off the Xbox. One man can make a difference. One woman can change the world. It can be you. So.